Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to how Playhouse Disney died. Oh man, Playhouse Disney. I ain't watched that shit in years. Playhouse Disney, I think, will mostly be for both my sisters, generations. I think daytime is for the Playhouse Disney. Me, Playhouse Disney go far back as like the fucking Wiggles, Bear in the Big Blue House, and Roly Poly Oly. That's about as far. And PB and J Otters. That's about as far as Disney Playhouse goes back for me. That's like late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah. Anything else after that, we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. That shit, that's all my sister generation. So yeah. After Roly Poly Oly, that's it for me. I don't know any other Disney Playhouse shows.
You know, the best part about Halloween
So are you eating
is the cheap candy.
are you eating candy corn with popcorn? Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
And having it with popcorn? Chef's kiss. I don't know what Moose and Moose is talking about. Wait, why are you guys here? Oh, yeah, that.
Playhouse, Disney. That's where I wanna be. That's where we wanna be.
Yep. This would be my era. This would be my era right here.
You guys realize that this is also lost media, right? By, Disney Plus, right? All right. Well, I guess I gotta put down my popcorn and candy corn to go over to Playhouse Disney. For those of you who are gonna say, well, where's the Disney Channel video? Here it is.
Wait a minute, what? Away we go.
During the rise of Disney Channel, Playhouse Disney would be shows Disney had on their regular Disney Channel blocks. Also, it wouldn't be called Playhouse Disney. During the inception of Nick Jr. and the rise of preschool shows, mainly because it was a new market and the FCC imposed television networks to make said shows or risk losing their broadcasting license, because yes, that did happen, Disney had one goal in mind: to compete with then Nick Jr. That's it. That's all it took. The block itself debuted in 1983 under a roster of early morning Disney shows for preschool kids. Fast forward to the 90s, Playhouse Disney would launch as its own block on April 6, 1997. However, it would be called Disney Channel Little Kids in the early years. Unlike Nick Jr., Playhouse Disney prided itself at the time to be commercial free, just like Disney Channel back in the heyday. Even if they did have a commercial break or interstitial, it would be Disney related. In 1997, Bear in the Big Blue House was the first show created by the Jim Henson Company as well as Shadow Projects. This show would be TV Guide's top 10 children's shows. Fun fact, the same actor who did Bear was the same actor as Kenko on Ubi. The next shows to come after that were PB&J Otter, which was after the purchase of Jumbo Pictures and the Doug IP during Jim's transition to Disney, as well as Roly Poly Oly, made by Nelvana and Disney in '98. Later on, they would get their next hit show, Out of the Box, starring Tony James and Vivian Bayou.
Yeah, I was thinking of this show too, but I couldn't remember the name of it. But this low key, this wasn't a show I would watch though. But like, if there was nothing on, like if there was nothing else on, yeah, I'm watching this.
McLaughlin. This show would garner more views for the channel, while in the later years would be considered lost media as Disney Plus would not carry many of the episodes until 2019. By '99, Disney Channel would rebrand as Playhouse Disney, as the slogan would be at the time, where learning is powered by imagination.
Imagine and learn here inside Playhouse Disney.
In the early 2000s, many more changes followed Playhouse Disney. The block would run from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for the first 3 years, while in 2001, Playhouse Disney would get a rebrand to fit the new line of logos Disney was using. Made by the company Beehive, the female announcer would be Elise Beasley. Months later, we'd get 2 new shows: Stanley from the newly formed Jim Jenkins Company Cartoon Pizza, as well as The Book of Pooh, which would be the last show to come out of Shadow Projects before dormancy. Playhouse Disney at the time would have interstitial music music video shorts called Feet Beat, which would then rebrand to BB's Music Time. Radio Disney would also have a hand in promotion to Playhouse Disney by rebranding the radio show from Mickey and Minnie's Toon Time. While this happens, this Australian band would take over the preschool block. During the 80s, the band, which consisted of Anthony Field and Jeff Fatt, were in a group called the Cockroaches, which were an R&B style group at the time. Paul Field, who was a part of the band, disbanded the band as his daughter died of SIDS. This would make Anthony go back to school for early childhood education and dedicate a new band to his deceased niece. The other band members would then follow to study early childhood education to further the band and be more inclined to make songs for kids. Anthony would make a song which would be dedicated to his niece called Get Ready to Wiggle, which would birth the name of the band, the Wiggles. Members of the band would take songs originally from their original projects and recreate them from children, such as their hit song Hot Potato, which was originally called Hot Tamale. The Wiggles would then get a deal to make music with ABC, the Australian broadcasting company. At the time, budgets were limited to the band to make music videos. Costumes were made by the bandmate's wife. Their family kids were audience and actors of the music videos. On top of all that, there was no post-production, so 2 cameras were used to get certain angles for the videos. The videos, however, were a huge success with children all over. To help manage them was their former manager, Jeremy Fabini. ABC cut an album with the Wiggles at $4,000 in Australian, which would then sell over 100,000 copies. At the time, most of the band members were working as teachers. The manager exclaimed to do tours through Sydney and New South Wales. The band would...
They got robbed. 4K, then y'all going to do like 4 million? Oh, hell no. We got to renegotiate these terms, bro. I got to get paid. On me, nigga. On me, nigga.
That is blasphemous.
On me, y'all ain't finna rob me. I need my coins.
Play at daycares, children's birthday parties, and shopping centers. Kids would be attending in dozens to hear the band play as they developed an audience. They would branch off to do their own concerts after that. In '93, the trio would quit teaching to do the Wiggles band full-time and decide to remain independent and self-contained. Additional acts and characters were introduced as well, such as Captain Featherswood, played by Paul Paddock, to then be the 5th perma member of the band. Dorothy the Dinosaur, Henry the Octopus, and Wags the Dog were also added as side characters with their own storylines. As the second album was released, the band decided to color code themselves with colored shirts to better identify themselves with the kids. Throughout the 90s, the Wiggles would do numbers and tours, however would have to be introduced to new kids every 3 years, but the name grew out of word of mouth and promotion. By '97, the Wiggles would then get their own movie produced by 20th Century Fox. After its release in '98, it would be the highest gross movie in Australia, clocking in over $1 million box office. The success of the movie would prompt the band to make a TV show where the kids can be more inclined to be in tune to them. The Wiggles would then make a pilot script for ABC, but dropped it as there were creative differences. The pilot was then given over to Disney Channel Australia. As the pilot became a success, producers and managers wanted the whole band to go over to the United States international markets, albeit 3 members were going through health complications. Eventually, it would hit the US market and become a big hit. Disneyland California would book them. While performing for the park, producers for Lyric Studios, responsible for Barney and Friends, would take them under their wing. The studio would want to do business with them. Problems arose due to the bandmates' heavy Australian accents. Understanding that kids didn't care about that and cared more about the band itself was more than enough to strike a deal with them. Some chose to promote them, as first appearances would be at Blockbuster video stores with small audiences in '99. In addition, would perform in New Jersey and Brooklyn at small church venues and later theaters, and would eventually go to bigger venues such as Mall of America, Madison Square Garden, and the Beacon Theater. The Wiggles would then be put on intermission slots on Barney and Friends live shows. The more followed as recordings were bonuses on Barney DVDs, which would sell at their highest at FAQ Schwartz and Zany Brainy. Only the real 90s kids would know Zany Brainy. So for those of you who don't know what Zany Brainy is, it's like the equivalent of, the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Five Below, if you know that store.
Yeah.
Most of you don't know. Amazon and Walmart would also have a high turnout sales, with the Wiggles DVDs, so much so that the band made 9 more to keep up with the demand. During the 9/11 attacks, the band would come to the forefront with their songs, after many domestic and foreign bands would cancel shows, garnering them worldwide respect as well as New York embracing them. Disney Channel in the United States would take interest in the band after showing much bravery being pro-social. During 2002, Disney would take on the Wiggles on various blocks as well as giving them shows in both Disney World and Disneyland. By June, the Wiggles would star in their own American adaptation. Later in 2002, Playhouse Disney would rebrand its logo again to match the Disney Channel aesthetics, while introducing their new mascot Clay, voiced by Debbie Derryberry. Yes, the same voice actor as the jet plane and the boy genius. Clay, much like all of Playhouse Disney, is considered lost media. If you remember Clay, he was a mascot that would morph into shapes, colors, and even animals with catchphrases,
Are you with me?
and
It's true.
as well as announcing what show would be coming up next. A year later, Playhouse Disney would make a new original show that would mark Cartoon Pizza's second to last successful show, JoJo's Circus. Co-produced by Cup of Coffee Studios, the stop-motion series would be very popular and get a spin-off series called Feeling Good with JoJo. Fast forward to 2004, Higglytown Heroes would be the next big thing, while Clay Intercessionals would suddenly disappear. In 2005, the block would
Yep, this is past my prime.
have the biggest releases on the channel.
After the Wiggles, this is past my prime.
Such as the Doodle Bops, which was imported, Little Einsteins from Curious Pictures, Johnny and the Sprites, Ooh Ah and You, which would be the next mascot, Charlie and Lola, and Shane Kindergarten's Countdown. By 2006, Mickey Mouse would get more additional shows, including the hit show Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, as well as the show Handy Manny, which was the Hispanic version of Bob the Builder. And there was also a glitch on that show, if most of you remember it. I guess you can say Handy Manny was, handy that day. My Friends Tigger and Pooh would take to the block in 2007, while many series on the channel would end in 2008 and 2009. Imagination Movers, Special Agent Oso, and Jungle Junction would also premiere during the 2008 and 2009 era. Playhouse Disney would have many titles ending, and shows that would get longer runs and reruns were Little Einsteins, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Imagination Movers, and My Friends Tigger and Pooh. While this was happening, Disney was planning to make a 24-hour Playhouse Disney block, which was then scrapped. By May 26, 2010, when Disney Junior was made, the plan was to make the channel a paid subscription service for 24/7 preschool Disney IPs. Disney Junior would take over the channel SoapNet, a channel dedicated to soap operas like General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. As time went on and On Demand became a popular service, there was no need for a channel dedicated to soap operas, because again, these two channels exist. Disney Junior launched as a program block February 14th of 2011, as SoapNet would still continue. However, many cable carriers decided not to end the SoapNet channel abruptly so as not to lose subscribers.
Facts, because like I said, I think I said this before, but my grandmama, I know a lot of old women that love the soap opera channel, bro. They couldn't stay off the soap opera channel. That was their shit. The fact that it's gone now, yeah, I know my grandma going through it. She like, fuck this shit.
SoapNet would end broadcasting December 21st of 2013. The early days of Disney Junior ranged from airing classic shows such as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, while also airing new shows such as Doc McStuffins and Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Disney Junior would also have a weekend block dedicated to movies called The Magical World of Disney Junior, while their night block, Disney Junior Nightlight, still continues on the block. While some of their shows from Playhouse Disney could be seen on Disney Plus, while many shows went the wayside of being lost media. There are many reasons why Playhouse Disney is considered lost media. One big reason is because of the Disney monopoly. After the complete buyout of ABC, Disney would become too big to fail, buying small studios or big studios and garnering IPs for the sake of revenue and copyright was the name of the game. And you might disagree or think, well, why is this all relevant? I'm glad you asked that. Disney is well known for its IP abyss called the Disney Vault. Anything Disney related or bought will eventually end up in its vault due to copyright or tax write-offs. Disney Plus not having most of Playhouse Disney titles is mainly about the buyout, how much in royalties they would have to pay out, or wait until many studios hit dormancy or the grave before they do so. So studios that they purchase, like Jumbo Pictures for example, are owned by Disney already. Why give money in royalties to a company they already own when they can just throw it in the vault, never to return or see the light of day? That's what Playhouse Disney became, a nostalgic time capsule for us 90s kids and a ripped up Woody doll to Disney. Playhouse Disney came to existence because Nick Jr. was blowing away Disney's competition. While Nick Jr. had depth and research backing up why it still to this day is a childhood juggernaut, Playhouse Disney was an experience if you had the paid subscription at that time. With limited titles and 4 hit shows, many creators called this an underrated channel, and you don't get any pushback from me on that. The problem with Playhouse Disney was the timing. Disney was threatened by competition so much so that it pretty much birthed it without any forethought on why they should cater to a preschool demographic. Granted, Out of the Box and Bear in the Big Blue House were heavy hitters for Playhouse Disney. Had it not been for the Wiggles, Playhouse Disney would have been a failed channel block. Now that Playhouse Disney changed its name to copy its competition, gutted its shows, and put out Jim Henson, Marvel, and Lucasfilm spin-off shows to flex out how much money it's got, Disney Jr. is just seeing the same outcome as its competition. If you want your kids to grow up on quality content, definitely give them the OG Playhouse Disney. All right, I'll talk about Toon Disney. Can I at least finish my popcorn?
No.
With candy corn.
No.
Please?
No.
Thank you.
No. Alrighty, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one, man. That's crazy. That monopoly is crazy, bro. They don't want to pay the. Wow, Disney, $1 billion corporation, don't want to pay their studios. Make it make sense, bro. Disney ain't shit. They holding a monopoly on their classics because they don't want to pay the studios. That is crazy, bro. Crazy. So we ain't getting no roly poly because. We ain't getting no roly poly because of no roly poly reruns because y'all don't want to pay the studio that made it. Okay, Chief. All right, Chief. See, this is why Disney is in the shithole that it's in right now, and it's gonna continue to be in the shithole as long as it remains here. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. Fuck Disney. Y'all been a shitty company for years now, and I don't care. I will stand on that hill. Yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.